I find the whole tone of this insulting. I really do. I find it insulting for a couple of reasons. I watched a man get convicted of 34 felonies. I watched a man get adjudicated for sexual battery. I watched a man who got convicted of fraud. And never have I heard this fervor from the media in general about his qualifications to be president. George Clooney never talked about, in that whole article, he didn't mention Project 2025 once. Neither did Stephanopoulos. None of them did. But you're going to tell me how somebody's old?
The polls are showing a downward spiral.
That is not true.
Joe Biden.
That is not true.
Well, it is.
That is not true.
Every poll, DL, is showing that. But
they're virtually where they were. The polls are virtually where they were.
No, they're not.
That's not.
No, they're not. No, they're not. They're just not. And you can look at the CBS poll, look at the CNN poll. He is losing in every battleground state now.
Polls aside.
So the point I'm making is the people who are saying that Joe Biden's mental acuity is just not there anymore are not supporting Donald Trump, at least in the Democratic Party.
Your point is that the mass media tends to be more liberal.
They want to defeat Donald Trump, but they don't think Joe Biden can do it.
Well, okay, maybe they don't think that. But the conversations that they're having are not really the things that will. If Joe Biden is a nominee, I don't know how you buy this back. But if we were having conversations, if as wished for in Project 2025, the Department of Education is disbanded, who does that hurt? If the social safety net is gone, who does that hurt? If environmental rollbacks are taken back, who does that hurt? If women lose the right for their bodily autonomy, who does that hurt? So I will respect people's right to have their vantage point. But for me, there's a decided difference between somebody being disappointed with the outcome of election and having a disastrous result from it. So if we're going to have conversations, let's have conversations what is really at stake. The worst that would happen is if Joe Biden couldn't do it, a very competent, capable woman would step in and do it. So how is this a real argument? How's it a real argument?
Your point is stick with the incumbent because history shows you have a better chance with the incumbent. And if it doesn't, and if he can't continue, you have a good backup. So
what is the worst that can happen? What is the worst that can happen?
What Democrats are saying, the worst that can happen is that Joe Biden, the handwriting is on the wall, and he's going to lose the election.
Ain't I a Democrat? Don't I talk to millions of Democrats all the time? Why is it that George Clooney? Here's the truth of the matter. We have a decidedly different vantage point of what we need for this country. We do. We have a. If you look at the demographic breakdown of the Democratic Party and how they break down and why they vote the way they do, we have a different vantage point. And all of this hand wringing, one of the reasons Democrats have problems because they oftentimes look like feckless cowards. Cowards. Yeah, I understand what we're up against, but we've had worse. But to have these conversations and not one mention the remedy, which you already have, is that a competent vice president who's already leading in the polls would take over. It's a false narrative. You never mentioned that, and you never mentioned
there are people who are saying in the Democratic Party they want Kamala Harris to be the standard bearer for the party.
They got her. They already got her.
As a standard bearer, not as the vice president.
Have her as the actual candidate.
As the candidate.
Let me tell you something. Why would you right now make a president in this close election a lame duck? It's stupid.
Because he would lose to Trump.
You know what? Here's what I'll say to you. I'm bored with all of this hand wringing. What it is the fight we have. If he stays, then I got to find a way, and people got to find a way to win. If he doesn't, we still got to find a way to win. Stop having this argument with me. I'm not talking about you in general. With the people, if the worst that can happen is that Kamala Harris takes over. The worst that can happen. The worst. You don't have to give up the power of the incumbency and this. And if you're going to have a conversation about how old he is, have a conversation about how old they want to take this country back to. Never once have I heard this conversation in any substantive matter for anybody. And my people and communities of colors, everything's at stake for us. And to have these conversations about George Clooney, yeah, he's not the man he was in Ocean's 11. What are you talking about? This is crazy to me. I'm so tired of cowardly people who just don't understand, who just don't get it. And if they do get it, name me a time when somebody gave up the incumbency and won. If you can vote for a convicted felon, I can vote for a cadaver. If you can vote for a convicted felon, I can vote for the crypt keeper. I'm voting because there are things that are so concerning that I can't let this happen. And watch these. It is so cowardly, it's ridiculous.